There have to be some things in life which are above politics, which we can agree on as decent human beings, no matter what your political views are in anything in life. What I would call pre-politics, what I would call meta-values that all decent human beings should believe in, no matter what our political views. And I think Sauls, a member of parliament in the South African parliament, who had the privilege of meeting him and many very fair-minded members of the parliament who were in Israel a number of months ago, reminded all of us in the South African parliament that certain things have to be beyond politics, no matter what your view on Israel and the Middle East is.
Assalamu alaikum. Greetings in Jesus' name, the Prince of Peace. If not I, then who? Is the word penned by the late South African-born young soldier Daniel Perez in his diary. Honorable Speaker, the Patriotic Alliance notes with concern the global silence concerning two young men with one revolutionary cause for peace in the Middle East. One is a Palestinian-born 22-year-old that led massive anti-Hamas protests in Gaza, who was brutally tortured and killed by a terrorist group in March this year. The other is a South African-born Israeli soldier who, at age 22, lost his life in combat against Hamas during the 7th October massacre. He was taken hostage by the terrorist group and officially reported dead thereafter. His remains is still in Gaza today. We request the House and the applicable ministry to advocate for the dignified return of this South African-born captain's body from Hamas. We are a nation rooted in the deep understanding of reconciliation. Our intervention through diplomatic channels and international partnerships could be a significant step forward in opening a path towards the release of all other Israeli hostages and the preservation of many innocent Palestinian lives. This act of compassion and humanity transcends political boundaries and speaks to our shared values as human beings. Bring them home. Bring Daniel home. Shukran. Salute.
You see, the value of human life and knowing that you have to bring hostages home, that it is patently wrong in every possible way according to any code, whether you're Jewish, Christian or Muslim, and any fair-minded human being, that hostages which are being held against their will, live or dead, need to be returned to their families and should not be bartered with, should not be political tools for any type of expediency, to bring each and every one of them home independent of any view of what politics is all about. And you see, it's exactly what this week's parsha in the Torah is all about. How this week's parsha tells us in the parsha of Acharei Mot-Kedoshim, it says that regarding doing all of God's commands, the mitzvot, it says, Asher yaseh ha'adam v'chai bahem. A person should do all of these, chukim mishpatim, all the dictates of God and the mitzvot, v'chai bahem, and one should live in them. Our sages emphasized time and time again in Masechet Sanhedrin and Yuma and so many other places in the Talmud and Midrash that the Torah was given v'chai bahem, v'lo shiamut bahem, to live in them. And one's allowed to desecrate Shabbat and Yom Kippur. There's almost nothing more important. There are certain values which are more important than life itself, murdering others, infidelity, idolatry, but almost no values are more important than the value of life itself. Kedushat hachayim, v'chai bahem, to live in them. That is what Torah Judaism is all about and our vision of spirituality. And that is why the Torah says later on in the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, it says in chapter 21 that a person has to be buried immediately. Why? Because a person whose corpse is lying around, v'kilalat elokim talui, because you are hanging, so to speak, an image of God. Judaism has always taught since the dawn of mankind that every human being is created in the image of God, and therefore leaving a corpse, which people leave corpses as they have in Gaza, people in cupboards, in refrigerators, God knows where they are. Our son Daniel is one of these people who leaves people in places like this. This is the image of God. And the same Judaism which teaches the sanctity of life understands that in death, this is the great opportunity to sanctify life, to show that the body, which was a God-given vehicle to do so much good in the world and to celebrate life, should be given a dignified burial. It is these values that the Jewish people have taught the world since time immemorial, that is at stake in this battle. And regarding what our political views are, there has to be common decency, that all those and all human beings created in the image of God have to respect the image of God, alive or dead. That is what we hope and pray for. And I commend Sauls, Member of Parliament, all those who stand up and bring truth to power and understand that in all fora, there have to be certain things which are meta-values, pre-political, which touch on the very essence of what it means to be a human being. and should not ever be something controversial that we need to trade in and be caught in political expediency. Shabbat Shalom.